Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Cynic Meets Sunshine. We're your hosts. I'm Andre, and this is my beautiful wife, Tanisha.
Hey, guys.
Been a little bit since we talked to you guys. Actually, that's not true. We talked to y'all last
week.
Yeah. This episode today is going to be about
Dating. But not just dating your spouse, right? Which is very important to us. And we've mentioned before how dating your spouse can save your marriage.
Right.
But it's going to be discussing dating your spouse. It's going to be for those people who are just dating in 2025. And it's going to be for people who are dating at our age, like later in life, 40s, 50s. We had some friends of ours reach out, let us know some of the content you guys wanted to hear. And these were some of the subjects that were messaged to us. So before marriage, marriage, and then just kind of navigating it later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, for those people who maybe are divorced or had been single for many years, I think it presents some unique challenges.
Well, let's get into it. We don't have a lot of time today, so what does dating your spouse look like after decades of bills, kids, chaos in general?
So at this point, it's like we know you've fallen in love with someone, you had all these feelings and butterflies and all of those things like you get in the beginning of a relationship. Years of marriage, bills, kids, life, responsibilities, realities. At this point, love in your relationship is not just a feeling anymore. You love this person, but it is also a choice. It's something that you have to actively choose and actively invest in. So dating your spouse is one of those ways that you are choosing love. And you're choosing to show them that they're a priority, and that investing time to them despite this busy life that we have is important. So it looks a little different than maybe when you're first getting with somebody, but it needs to be scheduled. It needs to be intentional. Maybe you have a date night every week so that you don't get overwhelmed by life's busyness.
Yeah.
But you have this time carved out for each other.
It definitely looks different, but it shouldn't be different. I mean, I'm still courting you. You're still courting me. Yep. I've won you over, but that's not the prize. That's not the finish line. There should be a continual journey that we go on where we're
never ending,
where we're dating each other, where we're falling in love, where we're staying in love, where we're
reconnecting, just constant.
Yeah.
I was telling Andre how I still get excited to go out with him, and it gives me a reason to get dressed up for him, or I still want to impress you. I like doing those kind of things, because I love you.
Yeah.
We started talking about how sometimes people let themselves go in relationships.
Yes. Why do you think people stop putting in effort once they've got the person?
Why do people stop putting in effort? We saw some things on TV like Revenge Body, things where people will go crazy fixing themselves up, changing their body, their makeup, their hair, all these things that they didn't do during their relationship, or maybe they did in the dating phase.
That's what it is.
Right, to attract their wife, to attract their husband. And then they get in this nice, comfortable state of relationship where you get nice and comfy with the person. And as you should be, you can be your complete authentic self. But why do people sometimes choose not to put in effort to still take care of themselves?
And it's not just women, it's men as well.
It is,
they'll gain the 15 relationship pounds.
And all of a sudden they don't smell nice anymore. They're not
putting the effort that they put in initially. I think a lot of it is laziness, is just being comfortable. Like I said, I've reached the finish line. I won the prize, and it should not be looked at like that. I think it should be looked at, this is a journey. It's a continual journey. It's not a sprint. It's not even a marathon. It's like a lifelong marathon. I think that's one of the reasons. But that is my pet peeve. I mostly see it from the women. When I see a woman in a breakup or preparing for a divorce, the end is in sight, and they go all about the glow up. 100%. They've changed everything. They've got back in the gym. They got a trainer. They lost 30 pounds. And I can never stop thinking, why didn't you put that effort in during the relationship? If there were problems, not to say that would have fixed it,
right?
But maybe it would have. Maybe it would have helped things along. Maybe he would have said,
still paying attention and seeing each other.
Yeah.
So yes and no with that, because it's not to sound shallow or superficial, and not to say that being sexy can save your marriage, because there's so much more that goes into it. But if you have completely lost your sexy in your relationship, and that's something that you used to have, your partner is also a visual being, is also a sexual being. So it is very important, I think, to still care about your appearance for your partner and not to give up. And I'm just simply saying your relationship shouldn't be shallow and it shouldn't be superficial. However,
Yes.
that outer box
Yeah.
plays a role. If we're being real here.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we're being real
And
here.
this is probably something that lots of women are not going to want to hear.
Right. It's going to be
They want,
controversial.
well, I need to, I'm sick. I have
Yeah.
the flu.
I've got kids,
I shouldn't have to
yeah.
feel like, I'm running around with the kids, getting them, getting the house in order. And then my man's coming home. So let me just throw on some makeup and high heels. And that's not what we're saying.
That's not at all what we're
That's
saying.
not at all what we're saying.
So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, let's keep it realistic, right? Like
Yes.
I've got kids, I've got things to do. I can't be, just on 10, 24/7. If I'm sick, Andre sees me at my worst and loves me. He sees me at my best and loves me. And that's what a relationship should be.
Yes.
And because of that love that he shows me, it makes me want to be my best for you. Okay. And it makes me want to have times to dress up and impress you. So we're not saying that you have to be on 124/7.
All the time.
And we're not saying it's not okay to gain 15 pounds in a relationship.
Right. Yeah.
I
Life
birthed
happens.
5 of your children.
Life happens.
And I'm not going to look exactly the same necessarily. And that's okay. You still take the best of yourself currently, and you constantly work on being healthy, being hygienic, I'm saying this because I literally heard of people like they're not showering, there's no more perfume.
So
it's like we're not brushing our teeth right before bed.
That
it's
means
like,
they've given up.
So
they're putting
you still want to
absolutely
invest.
no effort in if they're not even doing those general things. Yeah.
So we thought we would, even though we said today's subject was about dating, we thought we would talk a little bit about this and about keeping yourself up.
That's part of dating, because guess what? Dating isn't only, hey, it's Friday night, let's get dressed up and go out. I'm dating you if you and I are having coffee on the island in the kitchen and no one's home, and we get to just sit for 20, 30 minutes and just conversate about our lives, our feelings, our relationship, things that are going on in our life. That's dating. It's not, but it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's spending time and quality time and getting to know each other and connecting. So that's what I think that's part of dating, right?
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Dating doesn't always have to be this extravagant thing. Just like we've referred to like our gym dates. It's time that Andre and I have non-negotiable. Like we don't have other people jump in on it, anything. It's like our time. And it's a bonding time for us. It's time where we're playful with each other. We are touchy-feely. We're big on PDA. Yeah. It's like, that's a time where we just get to kind of, honestly, it's like even a type of foreplay for us, right? Because we're being loving and playful with each other and just getting in a good mood together, getting away from all like the day-to-day.
Is date night enough, or can that become just a check in the box? Should there be more to it than?
There should. So date night, so yes, you plan it and you have the check the box date night, but date night should be intentional. You take some time, some thought about what you're going to wear on date night, right? I'm trying to dress up and be cute for you. You take some time to be intentional about seeing your partner. This is like something that seems so normal, but I honestly think there's a lot of times I'm guilty of it too. Like day to day when our life is just busy, I'm talking past you. Like I'm saying things that need to be said, but I'm not really looking at you, focusing on you and seeing you. Like I'm over here and I'm telling you something. I think on a date night, you need to be so intentional to see that person. Yeah. Like I'm looking at you when you're talking to me and I'm seeing you and I'm studying you and I'm like, this is my person. Those are times to really invest, connect, and pay attention to who your person is, who they're evolving into. Like I want to know all of these different versions and things about Andre.
Yeah. So I want to say one thing. As we're saying date night, and I'm listening to what you just said, those things need to happen outside of date night. Forget date night. Those things you just mentioned are things that you should do on a regular, day-to-day. I think far too often you're talking past me or you're talking to me and I'm busy doing work and I'm half listening. Yeah. So not just in date night should you set aside time to not do that and concentrate on your person and listen and connect. You should do that just throughout the day.
So your time
just be
with your partner should be intentional.
Intentional, exactly.
Yeah. I think most of us who are in relationships, marriages, families are guilty of routine.
Yes.
And we know what we've got to do each day. We've got a schedule every day with our children and everything. So it's very, very simple to just get caught up in that day to day. So being intentional in a relationship is choosing love. I choose to have our love not fade, not separate, not create gaps. And because that is my choice, I'm going to choose to pay attention to you, to continue to try and keep myself up for you, to see what your needs are, check in on you, and to make sure that not too much time goes by without date nights, things like that.
Okay.
You know, those are ways that we're choosing love and choosing to show up for each other.
So question, why is it that people, I'm gonna say people, but I really mean women, wait until the relationship is over to make a change?
Okay, first of all, I am going to stop you because I personally have a friend who was going through divorce.
Okay.
And her husband, soon to be ex-husband, started with the whole glow up before he's going to start dating.
So you're saying it's not just
so
women.
It is not just women. Okay. Maybe, on like Revenge Body and these shows, we see that more often.
Yes.
But this is men that also will let themselves go in relationships, get the dad bod. There's 6-pack of beer every day. And it's like, this is not the man that she married, right? Okay. He's not paying attention to all those things. And then I've seen them work on the glow up. So I'll answer your question, but I do think it's men also. But my answer to your question, why they do it afterwards, we know what it's because of. They know they're about to be back in the dating pool.
Back on that market.
And they have to impress someone, right?
Yes.
So for whatever reason, they felt they didn't need to impress their spouse anymore. They didn't need to be anything extra for them. Their partner was getting the leftover, whatever they had energy for. They weren't investing, okay?
Or they were at one point and it wasn't reciprocated.
Okay. Yeah. And now they're getting back out there. The relationship didn't work and they know, okay, it's probably not going to fly that I go out here and I don't brush my hair anymore and I don't do this or that, so it's time to pull it together. Like, oh, damn. I haven't been to the gym in like 6 months. Maybe I need to go like get healthy and start walking and, so that's why I think it happened. My theory on why it happens in the first place, there are many reasons, right? We had a baby, we have things going on, we're too busy. But I think if you are in a relationship where your wife or your husband has let themselves go, I am so big lately on self-evaluation. Evaluate yourself. Are you a partner that is like overly critical to her? Are you constantly criticizing? Do you belittle? Do you see her? Do you uplift her? Are you kind to her? Does she feel like a priority? Because as a woman, we will show up for you. Speaking for women from my behalf, like we will show up for you. I will go to the ends of this earth for you because you protect me. Okay. You prioritize me above everything. Okay. You show me how I matter to you. And because of that, I have this endless desire to show up for you. Okay. Okay. But in these instances where you might have a partner who is letting themselves go, you're not dating the way you used to, things aren't what they are, definitely self-evaluate. And are you being a person that she needs and she feels safe with? Because if you have been overly critical, like I was saying, and if you're not prioritizing her and she doesn't feel like top priority in your life or feel important to you, it's highly likely that she's resentful and she doesn't feel like putting in that energy.
Okay, I can see that.
Because it's why will I give to someone who's showing me I'm this important? Definitely self-evaluation. Make sure that you are creating a space where your partner feels important and has the desire to keep themselves up for you. And that goes for men and women alike. No, okay. Yeah, I think honestly, if you see there's a problem, try checking yourself first. Okay. And then, like we said, dating is so important. Plan some dates. Give her a reason to dress up. Plan some dates. Give him a reason to smell nice and go out with you. Open the door. Do all of those things.
Yeah. Speaking of planning dates, I have.
Not dusting. Not dusting it off. The Christmas one.
This is Valentine's Day. 52 fun things to do on a date night. So I think we used maybe 2 of these. Go out to an arcade and challenge each other to a playoff.
Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah. I don't remember when we have this one.
Scratch off date adventures. So this was Valentine's too, and you know what was funny about this? What? I think you got this for me, and we were totally on the same page.
Fun ideas to give you some ideas on things you can do for date night. So take some of the pain out of trying to.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be like, let's go to dinner, let's go to a movie. I love that. Go to an arcade and challenge your partner to a playoff. Like, how funny would that be?
Lots of little things that you
Yeah.
wouldn't think of just on your own. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this would be fun. Let's try it out. And then adventure.
Yeah.
You know how we love adventures.
When we're not prepping, one thing that we love pizza. So we were like, okay, once a week we're gonna try a brand new pizza spot
yes.
in our city that we've never tried, and like kind of hop around and check out all the spots.
Yeah, you know where that started from? Going to different spots for competitions
And trying their food in
and
different
then trying their food
cities.
and be like, oh, do we not have a place like this in San Antonio?
Yeah, those are fun date night ideas.
Yeah.
But we also kind of wanted to touch on the challenges of dating for people who are single.
Or if I didn't put the effort in and I got a
I'm back
divorce
in the-
and I'm
back
back
in
on
the
the market
pool.
and I've done my glow up and I'm ready to go and I'm on the market. Yeah, this is a different day and age for sure. And for people like us, God forbid I died or you died, and then I took my 6 or 7 years to mourn, and then I went out in the dating pool. I can only imagine how different it is out here. We hear all the time from our friends,
Yeah.
oh, it's rough out there. It's rough out there, and then we just joke, ha ha ha. But yeah, it's a different day and age. And
It is, yeah, it is. We didn't even have social media when you and I were dating.
Yes.
We literally met each other first thing in person. So there was no catfishing. There's no filtered photo of me. Like, you saw me as I was. I saw you as you were.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what we were getting into. We weren't even looking for anyone.
No.
It happened.
You
Developed.
and I were both specifically
Not looking for
anyone.
someone.
I was not trying to get in a
I was
relationship.
not trying
You
to
were
date.
not trying to get
It's so funny. And honestly, it feels like some of the best things in life happen when you're least expecting it or not looking for it. Sometimes when we're looking so hard, it can turn more into a task, less fun, and kind of mess with the process.
Do you think dating today, in this day and age, is more like shopping than it is looking for love?
So I definitely think it's a lot like shopping, because the highest percentage of dating and meeting a partner is online now, like dating apps, speed dates, but social media even. So yeah, it is kind of like online shopping. Like, you're looking initially for a look, right? Maybe something that you're attracted to, or similar interests that you guys have, and you're matching, or whatever. So
You're trying to see if they fit all of your lists.
It is a lot like shopping, but as a lot of you know, like my Amazon peeps, if I didn't read the reviews and I'm shopping, I a lot of times get something that I didn't expect, because things can be falsely advertised.
They've coined it the swipe left generation.
Right.
And that comes from just the dating, and not just Tinder, but the dating apps in general, where people quickly pass up people looking for, not really taking the time to get to know someone, but just swipe left, swipe left. And even in relationships, I'm dating someone for a little bit. I don't have time, swipe left. There's somebody else out there.
Yeah, your chewing annoys me or whatever. I think the attention span of people these days, because of social media, is like so short. You don't give things enough time, where we used to like go out with a person a couple of times, see how we feel. I do feel like people are very much like swipe left. And I think what you're doing is a lot of people are weeding out such a large amount of really great possibilities. They could have some superficial issue or something that you're making greater than it should be, and missing out on something really, really good. Now, I think the benefit of dating in this day and age is the access that you guys have to the internet and to dating apps, because it really widens the net that you're casting. And it's like you get, to see people from all over the place. Maybe you're willing to have an out of town relationship, and it's someone you wouldn't normally meet in your city.
So let me ask you a question about that. Can you think about the times we went to a restaurant and we've got the menu, and there were just so much on the menu, and we're like, I don't. You're just you're just so many options.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what
Narrow
to do.
it down.
I want to go to that place that just does hamburgers good, and then I want to go to that place that has pizza good.
There's that.
Is there such thing as too many options?
There's that. I mean, it's possible that you're just, it's not so much that there's too many options. It's that it maybe affects your judgment, because there's so many options. You're not paying attention fully to all that's presented to you, because it's just too much. That brings me to dating lists. Guys, girls, if you have your lists of requirements, I'm really gonna suggest that you knock a few of them off right away. Like my girls, who have the requirement that your man be 6 foot and you're like 5'1" like me or something, it's like, is it really necessary? Do you know how many amazing
Yes.
men
Or under
you are
6
kicking
foot.
immediately
Yeah.
out of the option there because you need someone 6 foot? Because why? It just blows my mind, some of the lists that I see that women have that are
hear.
like non-negotiable for them, that in their mind, this is the man for them and he has to be X, Y, and Z. I just think it's unrealistic and you are limiting yourself to something really amazing. So my advice for those of you dating men and women alike, you know, if you are a guy and on your list, she must be in the gym and like a muscle mommy, okay? Maybe you check that. Maybe she just should be healthy, and then that's something you guys can work on together, because you're also really limiting yourself if she has to be in this
for
small
sure.
percentage of
Very
women.
small niche.
Because I didn't even get in the gym when Andre met me. I didn't even know what the inside of the gym really looked like. And then that's a hobby that we ended up developing together. I think the first thing you should do this day and age dating is really check those lists.
Scrub the list.
Scrub the list.
Determine what really needs to be on the list.
Core things, values, character.
Yes.
You know, these things
Those are
pay
the
attention
important
to.
things.
Yes.
Character traits.
I mean, right away, I knew your character.
Yes.
Immediately when you're like checking on me,
Mm-hmm.
he's offering to pay for my gas to come visit him. He's offering, and not that I
bring
needed
me the
any of
booty.
these things, not that I needed any of these things, but he was always trying to care for me and always trying to, you know, make sure I was good. Those things you'll notice right away. Not that I even would accept it at first, because I was very independent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, those are the things you want to pay attention to, somebody's character. And you don't want to pass at people too quick, right? But you do want to pay attention to red flags.
Physically abusive or any traits that lead you to believe it could lead down that road. Yeah. Emotional abuse. Any of the bad character traits. Possessive, jealous.
There we go.
Yes.
Red flag,
all
ladies.
of those personality
Red
traits.
flag. I think jealousy in relationships to a degree is normal, to a small degree.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those guys and girls who are very possessive and jealous. That usually goes left.
I'm trying to teach
quickly.
the kids about that when we're watching shows.
Isolation, right?
See that?
When
See
they
that?
start don't want you
Isolation?
around your
Yes.
friends, things like that. Yeah, it's not a good sign.
As you're mentioning the lists
Mm-hmm.
and how this generation is kind of normalized, just real quick, swipe left. The thing that comes to mind is that show that I love. You never watch it with me. Pop the Balloon.
Yes,
That
it's
is
so
I love
annoying to
watching
me.
it because it's funny, but it's not if you really think about it.
Sad.
In the context of what we're talking about here today, it is sad.
Yeah.
Because far too often I see a really nice guy that everyone's just popping because guess what? He didn't meet this. I didn't like his eyebrows. I didn't like his shoes. Like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? So it's I don't know, it's just sad. Yeah.
No,
sad.
it's definitely sad. I think that a lot of times we are missing out on something so great because this is also a superficial age. It's like, especially I feel like with social media, I think that's one of the curses.
yeah.
Because it just presents like this perfect looking man, this
Yes.
perfect looking woman. And so you have this idea in your mind of what your person needs to be. And really, you need a person that you can, of course, be physically attracted
Yes.
to. Yeah, scrub the lists for the most part, because actually, as you're saying that,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a couple things that should be on the list.
Like what?
Things that should be on the list, like we said, core values, right?
Yes.
The character of the person.
Yes.
But you know what else should be on the list is your own personal life experience from previous relationships, things you've learned, things you want. You've kind of recognized in my previous relationship, this didn't work out for me because I was dating a person who was very X, Y, or Z. Or this didn't work out for me because I was very possessive, or I was like this. Whatever your takeaways were from your previous relationship, insert that into your list of things that you're paying attention to now, so you don't get caught up in repeating patterns and attracting the same type of woman or man over and over. So let your list include lessons.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
Main thing I want you to take is lessons from previous relationships, things that you've learned about yourself because you're now more self-aware of the type of person you choose that was maybe toxic previously, or maybe even you being toxic. What have you done to improve yourself so you can be good in a relationship, not just your list of what you require from them? what are some standards you have for yourself so you can be a good partner to that person?
How is it different for us, people that are in their 40s or 50s?
When I think of dating in your 40s and 50s, for myself, because I have not dated since I was like a kid,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a ton of experience here, but or any experience, but what I will say, I mean, like being in the dating pool, but what I would think because of myself as a 46-year-old woman, I think this is a benefit of dating at our age. I am so much more comfortable with who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I am so much more confident and comfortable in my skin. Taking that into dating in your 40s and not being this insecure 20-year-old who's figuring life out. I mean, I could go into that with such a different level of confidence. So for my men and my women who are at a later stage in life dating, you know, this is a time to step out and be unapologetically yourself.
Yes.
Go into a relationship knowing exactly who you are and what you have to offer, and just really standing in your truth and who you are. It's like, you know, I've pretty much blossomed into this person. This is who I am. I'm not going to play any games. It's like, take it or leave it, love it. But also, that's a benefit, right?
Yes.
I think one of the hard parts of being our age and being single is sometimes you can be extremely independent and really value being alone to an extent, right? And then you get with someone else and you have to be interdependent and you have to be able to maybe relinquish some of that independence and be a little softer
those two worlds
and mesh. So be aware of that as well if you're dating at our age, and let someone in.
I don't have anything.
You have nothing?
I'd give up.
Well, listen,
I'd give up.
do not,
Give up.
do not, because you could be with your partner, like living your best life next summer on the beach together, whatever.
Yeah,
Don't give up. I do have some more advice though. I do feel one of the hard parts about dating at our age is you can feel like you don't have a ton of time.
You don't have a ton of time.
Right? So things can feel a little bit rushed.
Yes.
I want to encourage you to keep it light. When you first meet someone and you are dating, on date one, don't get too heavy because you're trying to fast track things.
So I shouldn't be asking you what your blood type is.
Yeah, let's chill. Let's chill. Let's really allow yourself to date and have fun, even though if you're in your 40s, your 50s, and you are feeling a little up against the clock.
Rushed.
Have a few dates with this person and let it be light so that that person doesn't feel that you're a red flag or overwhelmed by the heaviness of the conversation. Have some fun, have some laughter, get to know them as a person, and don't press very important issues out the gate. Naturally get to know this person, and you know, you can ask basic questions.
The clock is ticking, but you're saying don't.
Yeah, but you got 3 weeks. I mean, if you don't, I'm sorry, but you've got 3 weeks to go on a few dates and like get to know them before you just scare them out the gate. Because if somebody came to me,
I would definitely.
Too heavy.
She's a little too much.
It's like, listen, okay, like I'm being very mindful of things at my age, and I'm paying attention. And if you are coming out the gate that strong, it's a little scary.
That's a no for me.
So that's some advice I have for people our age, and also you're dealing with some different challenges because the majority of times when you are dating in your 40s and 50s, I'm gonna guess that these are people who are divorced, previously married,
or damaged goods,
or they have children. You know, so these for some people can be a challenge.
Yeah.
So dating people who have children, if they're our age, maybe they have grown children, and their opinion matters, or they're extremely opinionated about who their parent dates. I love some 90 Day Fiance, and I'm watching that happen right now, where the child is just overly
all in it.
Concerned about, and you know, being concerned for your parent is normal, but overly in it.
Yeah.
So those I feel are some challenges that you might face dating anytime, but in your 40s and 50s, probably more often you're dealing with someone who has a previous relationship,
sense of urgency,
previously married, and it's maybe a little bit more drama to have to deal with. You know, so those are things to keep in mind. I think dating 40s and 50s, remind yourself to give yourself grace and to give your partner grace. They have already lived a good chunk of life, as have we. And so you have to date a little bit more delicately.
I think that's about all we have on dating.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously not like dating experts. This is my opinion.
I mean, we date a lot.
Yeah. We date each other.
Yeah, we date each other.
But being out there in the dating pool right now, we're just going to kind of give you our perspective
Yes.
and our advice on doing it in the healthiest way you can possible. But again, we're not experts there, so we wish you guys best of luck on that. But
Yeah.
we are experts on dating your spouse.
We encourage you to keep dating your spouse, keep investing in yourself, and if you are finding yourself back in the dating pool, swim smart.
Swim smart, y'all. Any final thoughts on keeping yourself up, all of those things?
If you're putting as much effort in your post-breakup makeover, if you had put all of that effort into your relationship, you possibly wouldn't be having a post-breakup makeover. So just think about that.
Okay.
Think about that.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is be intentional, put energy, and choose to love your partner every day. That choice does take some effort.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely
So
takes
put
a lot
that
of
effort in. My son actually this morning was telling me that anything,
Let's see if you can get it right.
wait, what did he say? He said anything great
Yes.
is not achieved by taking the easy path.
Nothing great is achieved by taking the easy path. Is that
So,
what you said?
I mean, we can just have mediocrity, just the easy way,
Yeah.
just doing nothing. But it's like you can have something really, really great if you work at it.
Yes.
I think that's it for today. That's all I've got.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
All right, I like it.
Yeah. Next week, what are we talking about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about next week?
I think I'd like to touch on relationship health checks next week.
Okay.
Let's check in. Let's
Yes,
see
check
if our
ins.
relationship, is
those.
in a healthy spot.
Yeah,
See if we
I
need
like it.
any attention. If there's any spots that we need to work on.
But doing it and not coming across in a nagging way, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
your delivery is important, and also not hearing it and being defensive.
Yeah. All right. Well, that should be fun.
All right.
All right. Well, until then, see you next time.
All right. We'll see you later, guys.
Awesome. Y'all have a good one.